And we are officially live everywhere. Can everyone hear me?
I hear you.
So. Greetings, everybody. I'm going to switch the microphones. I don't like it.
Now I can't hear him at all.
Oh, now don't hear me. Now they can't hear me.
Oh, now I hear you.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's Varian Grant here. Still on loan here over here on GEEKGASM. Went off this show very quickly, but it's not happening. Here on GEEKGASM, we got a packed house tonight. It is a very talented panel, so I don't know what I'm doing here. We've got editors, writers, we got comic book noobs who know more than people who've been in the industry for 10, 15 years. It's a big group. And then we got Michael Oden, who's just killing it on the with the crowdfunding. Screw that guy too. We're live. You can hear me? Is my mic hot? Oh man.
I feel abused. I'm gonna have to go hide for a second.
Well, Michael Oden has he's done his crowdfunding campaign, and Michael, at the very least, got actual contributors to his crowdfunding campaign. He didn't fund his own campaign, but we're gonna leave it at that. The salt.
Gonna throw some over my shoulder there.
So guys, thank you for being here. I will hit the intro. We'll come back. These fine people can introduce themselves, and we'll get into tonight's show. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of news. Here we go. Yay, we're back again. I'm Varian Grant, founder of INDIE Vote LLC, INDIE Vote Media LLC, co-founder and publisher of Last Call Comics. I'm a father, a husband, a geek, a creator, a comic artist, writer, sensitivity reader, reluctant taxpayer, all those good things. And Amazon buyer too. I hold stock in Wizard. What else? Unfortunately, I hold stock in Wizard.
I was gonna say, is that something to be excited about?
Yeah, it's like I hold stock in Wizard. Yay!
Doesn't that fall in that same category as taxpayer?
It kind of does. It's like I just keep giving my money to something, and they do have a owner's gate now, though. At conventions, should conventions come back, I'll be able to use the owner's gate and be able to walk past Neanderthals. Excuse me, I own this. Bully. So I'll get past y'all. As always, this is Lola show. Lola,
on the Xbox right
introduce yourself.
now, but it wouldn't matter because I think on my mom's. No,
but I am
the
the co-owner of Last Call Comics, and I am the host of GEEKGASM. And I'm an annoying wife, so I'm told, anyways.
I was picking up extra talk from Katrina, so I had to mute it for a second. Kat, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. This is fine. We can let Meredith answer. We can let Meredith introduce herself, and we'll go to Meredith. Kat, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. I don't want anybody getting his Xbox though.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Meredith Loughran. I am with Terraform Comics. I'm the social media director at the new company. Really excited about all of the stuff that's coming out of Terraform Comics. Been working on that throughout the day. I am also with geekinsider.com. I'm the executive producer of the podcasts over there, as well as a contributing writer and one of the associate editors, as well as the editor-in-chief of Wild One Forever, which is a women-centric site. And, we're hitting the ground running with all three of these things and really excited to be here. This is my first time on GEEKGASM, so thank you. Thank you for holding a seat for me.
Welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Rumors has it that the GEEKGASM doesn't exist. So he's working for it. Katrina, you good? Okay, here we go. All right.
I'm going to try to be good. Anyway. My youngest is sitting here and his phone rang. I think that's what you were picking up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Katrina. I am an editor, an author, What else? Mom. Trying to think of cool things, but I really got nothing.
It's all good.
We'll get into everything that you do in a second, Katrina. We got Andreas, and well, you sir do everything too, and you wear a lot of hats.
I do want to guess. I'm a writer with my son. We do a graphic novel series called The Shepherd. We've been publishing that with Caliber Comics. Came out originally in May of 15. And I edit for several different comic book companies. I started with Caliber, continued to do work with Caliber. I also edit for Scout Comics out of Fort Myers, Florida, and Amigo Comics out of Malaga, Spain.
Spain. No, I knew a girl from Spain once. She was.
Don't do anything that you're going to end up regretting here.
And Michael Oden.
How's it going, guys? I have been on here a few times before between Indie Volt and Geekgasm. So if you guys haven't seen me before, I am the creator and writer for Elysian Fields up on Indiegogo. This is Elysian Fields is my first professional entry into the industry on the creative end of things. I did a bit of freelance writing for sites like Movie Pilot, Heroic Hollywood, and now I work with Up Your Geek a bit, and finally kind of got up to working on my own book, and we had that campaign go. We got funded, still up on Indiegogo in demand, and you can find us at Facebook. You can type up my name, Michael Oden, or you can follow us on Nine Realms Publishing, and then on Twitter we're there at Elysian Fields _0. So yeah.
See, I need more titles. Everybody else has like so many. I feel lame right now.
Oh, I did forget.
I forgot to say the one. Yeah, I forgot to mention that I am tired as fuck as well. So.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was really hot here today, so I took my son out to go play in the playground, and we went to like 4 different playgrounds. So I'm beat.
Kat, you said you were going to add something to yours too?
Oh, I was going to say I forgot that I was dubbed the Countess of Comics a number of years ago.
Yes, the Countess.
So I did forget I had that official royal title.
Let me look through the chat.
Tiara as big as Lola's.
It's not. I am short a tiara.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Yeah, that tiara is pretty heavy. Travis Gibb in the house says, "What a great group on Indie Vote tonight." Thank you, Travis. Thank you. They are topped off with the cherry on top. That's me. Sarah says, "Hey there, peeps." Hello, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Brandon says, "Hello, Indie Vote." Hello, Brandon. Miss Heather Tucker in the house. Hey, everyone. Hello, Heather. Yeah, check out Heather's YouTube channel, Tucker Family Vlogs. Dave the Supreme pops in. Hello, everyone. Hello, Dave. Sarah says, "What's this good you're trying out?" and Josh Dawes says, "Hey, Goof Troop, what's up?" Hello, Josh. Guys, I want to get into it from Indie Vote Radio right now. I want to let you guys know right now, Indie Vote Radio, we have 18,416 people listening to us on Indie Vote Radio, which is our radio app, which you can download on Google Play, or if you have an iOS phone, download Streamer, type in Indie Vote Radio. You can find us. 18,000 people listening to you right now, so don't start stuttering. And we got a question from Meredith says she loves you all. They can't see you, but they can hear you on Indie Vote Radio. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see us. We do say, if you listen to us on Indie Vote Radio, feel free to pop over to YouTube, like and subscribe. You can even comment there and we can see you. But from Indie Vote Radio, do we have a comment section? And we do have one comment for everyone right now. And it is and this is a pretty weird comment, but it is from Portugal. And of all the comic conventions canceled this year, how in the hell do you guys plan to make it? That is from Marcos. How do you guys plan on making it? Marcos, let me tell you what I've done. I've taken to selling crack rock. It is no, I haven't done that. No, I have taken to I don't plan to make money. I don't plan to make money in a year. I plan to come out destitute and on the street begging for like change and dancing for money. I do. I don't plan to make money in business. So when they snatched the rug up under me, I'm like, there was a rug. I didn't know. Like, you did what? I felt. You know how we had. It was lovely. Last night we had Mike Barron on Indie Vote Live, and if you don't know, Mike Barron's Florida Man was pulled off of Reddit because they felt that Mike and others are sorry, there's my sister in the chat. Hey kid, long time listener, first time comment. Hello, Jessica. How are you? Yeah, Jessica, I need to make sure that I get you and the whole family dressed up. But I need you to dye your hair back blonde. I need you to be a mascot for something. Gotta go back blonde. But no, so we had Mike Barron on, and Mike's comic had been pulled off of Reddit because they said he was a part of a hate group. And Mike said the best thing. I said, Mike, how did you feel when you found out your comic getting pulled off? Your comic had been pulled off of Reddit, and he said, I didn't even know what Reddit was. So that's how I felt. Like, people are like, there's no conventions this year. I'm like, you're not gonna make any money. You were making money. So I didn't know. I'm not freaking out. Plus, I mean, you know, I save and scrimp, and well, she makes me save, but yeah, I'm fine. It sucks. I get it. That extra cash that I would have had isn't gonna be there, but it sucks. But I know a lot of people run a bigger business than mine. Now, I mean, Indie Vote is kind of like Comic Con. I won't call it a recession, but Comic Con cancellation, like proof. You can cancel a Comic Con. I still got Indie Vote, and that brings in a lot of the resources and stuff that I'm able to use now. As a publisher, if my publishing company was bigger, that would probably suck. A guy like Andrea, not having cons, is that affecting you? Because you got 3 different companies you got to handle. I mean, how is that? How are you handling that?
Well, I mean, you're not making any book sales or nothing like you do before. That's for sure. But it's nothing that anybody else isn't going through. So mostly what I've done this year is really focus on creating new material. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, we finished a new Shepherd story, and I just, in terms of finishing the whole thing, that'll be coming out hopefully by the end of the year, and then just put the finishing touches on a 100-page script, you know, for a story that we haven't even, you know, got to get an artist for. Right? So, mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that's what I've done. And then, of course, with the editing, you're always busy with that.
Michael, you just closed out a campaign. So you didn't have, I know you were probably planning on hitting up cons and
so for me, this doesn't affect me too much. And I'm going to be completely honest. So as this is my first book, you know, I still have like my job that I do like day to day, and what have you. I do armed security and I do night shifts. So like I work on that and what have you. And I honestly wasn't planning on going to any cons for like the first year. I was going to do like a lot of these online things, kind of get my name out there, get people to purchase the book, read it, get my name out there. And then in like year 2 is when I'd really start hitting up conventions, when we had more of a name for ourselves. And there is there were potentially people that would be like, oh, I think I've heard of your book. And that's a good sales point to, you know, to move in on. But like, as I said, this is my first book. We did complete our campaign, and we got fully funded, and, you know, I've set aside the stuff that we need for shipping and what have you, and the rest of it I've pretty much reinvested into the next book, which has already started production. And then otherwise, we're just going full steam ahead. I'm working on actually a pitch right now for another project. Well, I'm working on the script for it, and I have the pitch ready. I'm just waiting for my artist to come back with the concept art that we're going to be sending over to Terraform for review, which will be very exciting. That'll be a big thing that will hopefully be getting done.
And that's important because like Brandon Spider said it here. Yes, it is important to save, and as an artist, it's really important to create, adapt, and market. I did take the 3 months that I knew I was going to be in and kind of work on other stuff, because I knew, you know, we're stuck in the house, we're not getting out. Thank God I don't have to deal with people. It was actually like a vacation. Like the vacation I never had the balls to ask for, but God seemed fit to give me anyway. So it was great. But I did, it was great to be able to work and not be bothered with the outside world because everything shut down. Meredith, I'll move over to you. You're the comic noob. You're the new person. You've always liked comics, but as far as working in the industry, this is new to you. But are you being affected at all by no Comic Cons? I mean, you just started with Terraform Group, and then cons kind of got yanked. I'm not sure how much because I wasn't in the chat today. I will admit, I was in a medically induced coma, by my own doing. I took my pain pills. I was out. It can mess up a company's plans. A lot of companies, I know Andrea will agree to this. We plan our years out. Okay, this con, and when that gets pulled, your company structure is now kind of up in the air. Everybody goes into panic mode. What do we do? How are we going to make money? They start moving the desk out the office at that point. How has it affected you?
Well, I can speak from Geek Insider, where Tampa Bay Comic Con was going to be kind of a big event for us because we were going to live stream. And we were originally, back in April, we were thinking about doing kind of an independence kind of con. And we saw that Tampa Bay Comic Con was going to be that date. And we were like, you know what, we're just going to live stream from there and just make it an event and incorporate that into what we're doing. And then the rug got pulled out from us today. But with everything shut down, and I call it the Great Pause, maybe in history that's what it's going to be called. Instead of like the Great Depression, it's the Great Pause. Mm-hmm. And it's really affected a lot of business as far as what they want to spend in their marketing budgets, because a lot of them are like, okay, well, now we really don't know when things are going to open up. So my paycheck has basically been kind of an IOU. It's like, well, we got to pay for the servers and things like that. That's got to pay, that's got to go first if we want to maintain this site, if we want to pay for the servers, if we want to do the podcast and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, so I'm getting paid in IOUs. I have the luxury of doing that, and I'm very, very fortunate. So, because my husband has income, and it allows me to kind of goof off. But this is all stepping stones to what Michael was saying. He's kind of got this year-long plan where he's going to do the work, and then he's going to promote himself. This is kind of like the year where we are hitting the ground running with work. We're putting the creative things together. We are doing the groundwork. We are networking with people. We're networking with hungry people, mm-hmm. people who want to work. And, so going on the circuit like GEEKGASM and Indie Volt, going on Geek Speak, doing these interviews with Comic Book Advocates Network. I mean, all these things are getting your name out there, and I don't know why more people aren't doing it. So as for me with the comic noob, it's another creative outlet for me, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I'm fascinated with the business side of things. How is it going to manifest into something that might be a paid position? Maybe not now, but later. And getting your name out there is just so important. Doing this networking, doing the circuits, it is critical. It is critical for anybody who wants to get out into the field.
I agree. I think it is. And what Meredith was talking about was Tampa Bay Comic Convention was planned to be held July 10th. July 10th through the, the 12th? No more. Has been postponed until July 31st till August, some point for next year, 2021. They held out hope that they can get the show off the ground, but due to COVID and COVID's return, second wave, I guess, we are now that con is now decided to cancel, leaving a lot of people without a show this year. Period. Pop says, thanks you guys. You rock. You know what I'm talking about. We do rock, Pops. By that kind of you're talking about. Speaking of someone who actually does a lot of networking, Pops Van Zant there. There's a lot of networking, bringing people together.
Pops, great dude.
Yeah, you can't help but like Pops.
Sorry, Pops. I know that you did that that album cover challenge with me here a few days ago, and I got to like day 3 and I completely fell off. So that's my bad, buddy.
Audrey, were you planning? Were any of your companies planning on going to the Tampa Bay Comic Convention?
Oh yeah, actually, as you were talking about it, I was kind of. I think there's a rather interesting kind of like side story to this whole thing with Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you had a table that you got the email today, and what they're doing is Tampa is just keeping our money, arbitrarily keeping our money, and saying, "Oh yeah, you're in for next year." Okay. Now, why I find this amusing is that if you read the email, and I've got it open here because I want to see if I'm the only one who's got a sick sense of humor here. Okay. It's okay. Of course, your booth table space for Tampa Bay Comic Con 2020 will be transferred to Tampa Bay Comic Con 2021. Since 2010, we've been hosting Tampa Bay Comic Con. From our earliest days, gathering a few hundred nerdy locals to tens of thousands, the convention now attracts. It's been a wonderful adventure. What started as a fun side project for a few comic book collectors from Central Florida has grown into a full-fledged business with actual full-time employees. Keeping Tampa Bay Comic-Con alive and our employees employed through the massive 24-month gap from Tampa Bay Comic-Con 2019 to Tampa Bay Comic-Con 2021 will be very, very challenging. We will be greatly appreciative and thankful for those booth table transfers, as those funds are truly all there is keeping Tampa Bay Comic-Con alive for the next 12 months. Without them, there would be no Tampa Bay Comic-Con 2021 or beyond. Now, I don't know about you, but that does not inspire confidence. So in other words, they're keeping my money and telling me, oh, by the way, if we can't keep your money, which we're going to keep and not ask you for permission, we may still go out of business. Yeah. You know, I'm like, wow. Yeah. Well, you know, in that case, go ahead and keep my money because clearly you need it more than me. You know, I really didn't need to hear that. To say, oh yeah, this is what's keeping us alive. Yeah. Maybe it is, but don't tell me that for God's sake. And it also worries me that saying you're telling me that the table fees are the only thing that's going to pay your bills for the next 12 months. That's really disconcerting. Also, it's probably disingenuous in the fact that if they have any competent functioning brains at the top of that organization, they should have applied for the pandemic relief that the government's offered.
Yeah.
You know,
Pops has a good question. What if I die? Yeah,
well, Pops, your descendants will be able to have a table of life or lesser value.
It totally sounds like someone's full of shit on that. I think that a lot of that is, you know, they want people to not get mad that they're holding on to the money. And so kind of throwing the, please don't kick me while I'm down, mister. That's exactly a penny.
And they're not the only one. Let's be honest here. I got something similar from Fan Expo Dallas. They were my personal favorite because they ask if you want your money back. This is like $350, you know, for your Artist Alley table. So I'm thinking, yeah, I actually would like my $350 back. Why should you keep it for the next 12 months when, you know, we don't even know if there's going to be one next year.
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah. And then it never came. The refund never came. And so I contacted them and asked them about it. And they were like, well, it's been applied to the next year. I'm like, well, thanks for asking me. That was, you know, pointless. It's like the kids asking for permission and then doing what they want anyway. I'm used to it as a father. Trust me.
Brandon says, I was lucky I got out of tattooing and went to a regular art job before the lockdown. Those conventions were hit hard as well. It has been a tumultuous time. Sarah agreed with everyone. And then she says, Pop says, what if I decide I want to go next year? Now I'm back into a weekend I didn't plan on. And Chuck says the shepherd will save you, Pops. The shepherd's gonna save you. You won't die. I do agree though, guys. I mean, it is going to be a tough, lean couple of years. We got a big convention that we're planning on, and we had to actually we had something that Indie Vote was going to be doing in September. does not look like it's going to happen just because of the situation. We can't get people together in a room like that. But we're doing something. We're planning on something, and that might not happen. I mean, it could, but do you feel safe traveling? I am shocked though, because I am still seeing people willing to travel. I'm seeing people willing. That show had people getting tables. Buddy Mine was able to get in there at the last minute inside of Tampa. So, two buddies of mine actually, maybe even more than them. I think a couple guys that didn't already have tables were able to reach out and get tables for the show. Those plane tickets are going to be hard to cancel.
Yeah. Oh, I got an email today from Dragon Con, and they're saying that they haven't made the decision yet. But reading through their email doesn't sound good. They're saying in 2 weeks we're going to hear about that. But that's, and you're talking about the best show in the Southeast. And that,
Andrew, if you want to see some real like funny show stuff, I'll send you my every quarterly reports from Wizard. I'll send them to you. I'll email them to you.
Yeah, and that one I'm worried about because the only Wizard show that I do is New Orleans, and the only reason why I do it is because New Orleans.
Yeah,
it's a C-con at best in terms of sales, but I don't care. I'll be there every year because of the food and the beer. And that's I'm just being real honest here.
Well,
two great reasons.
Yeah, frankly,
I went there like my first year was there at that show was last year or this year. I'm sorry, this year, and I did. I enjoyed myself, and I said I'll be back. I don't know if I'll be setting up as Last Call Comics, but definitely plan on getting back there as Indie Volt. Here's the thing, but when I get my investor reports from Wizard, you don't like that section that says there's significant doubt that we'll be able to continue as a company. It's like shit, my money. I gotta get out, and it's too late. Meredith, I want to ask you a question from Indie Vote Radio here because it's aimed at the ladies. And so this is kind of rough. It's geekgasm. I'm sorry, but how many females do you think went out and created? Female creators went out and created OnlyFans accounts after these conventions have closed down. And that'll be you too, Katrina, and Indie Princess. Where are those OnlyFans accounts at?
How many fan accounts did I create?
OnlyFans accounts. OnlyFans is where people go to. Women go to, and some men have gone to create. It's like somebody took Patreon and pornography and put them together.
It's the Patreon for smut.
Yeah, it's not all porn either. Some of it's like just like some of it's like but I will say that I've look some girls I've seen OnlyFans blow up. Meredith, have you considered getting out of the comic business? Has this pandemic made you say maybe this isn't the right thing for me?
No, absolutely not. In fact, I think the pandemic is the reason why I'm in comics right now. But when it comes to those other type of sites, I mean, there's no way. I mean, they would throw money at me to keep my clothes on. Okay, that's just not going to happen.
You know what?
Let's let Katrina read this comment.
Okay, Katrina wants to. Katrina, here's a comment for you to read.
Oh, thanks. So this is from Rob Anderson. Apparently, after my video in my hot ass house without a shirt, I should get a fan only account.
You should get an OnlyFans account. You should, because I seen he was getting that's the same one. Yeah,
I read it how it was.
So
sorry, I'm being corrected on how I read it, but I read it how it was. Read it how it was written. Apparently, I have an editor sitting next to me tonight.
Damn it!
And I'm so glad that my 19-year-old knows all about OnlyFans.
Yeah.
He had his pecs going back and forth and everything. That was hot.
And he had Ennis commenting on it. Ennis couldn't even she stopped listening to what he was saying and watching. And she was watching the boob show. So, Rob, Ennis was looking, man. There's hope. If Ennis is looking, there's another woman out there just like Ennis. Maybe she doesn't have the accent. Because let's face it, we're all in love with Ennis's accent. All in love with it. You should have been there for it. You guys had to be there for it. Go back and listen to her talk. It's like AMSR for like just being calm. That's who they should have talk to people when there's a listen. And I tell you this, we've been like predisposed in America to know that when we hear a British voice, it is a voice of authority. And it is the voice of calm your ass down.
Which is ironic considering the country's founding.
Yeah, it is. Like Resident Evil. You're going to die down here. Fuck. You believed her. You believed her. A British voice speaks. You listen. Second voice on that list though is if they put a black mama voice in their computer. That might make you slow down. That make me slow down because I done heard some black women getting their children's ass in stores, and I'd be like, I look at the kids, stop before you get us all in trouble. Why are you? Could you imagine a computer? I called customer service one time. It was a black woman. She told me I said, ma'am, I'm trying to find. I called. I was pissed. It was USPS. I'm like, where's my package? Hello, this is. Tell me her name from UPS, and I'm like. I calmed my ass right down. I didn't say what I was gonna say. I was like, well, I was trying to see if you had I'm trying to find a package. I was hoping that you could help me.
Would you help me, please?
You damn right. I want my talk there. She could. That you're messing with the black woman. That is you better stop. Nope.
I don't remember. There's a commercial. There's something. And there's a black woman out there who does that, and I'm just like, that is a sound that I cannot make.
Yeah, see, I don't know where they get it from. It's
like I don't know what it is, but there's just something, and even like I heard a commercial or something, and I stopped what I was doing to look up.
Yeah,
like
you what I do?
Most of my friends in college, this is like early 90s. They would be like, "Hold my earrings." I can't say it the way they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It just. I say it and like nobody's even remotely scared.
And
like, really?
I'll tell you something. The most scariest name, the most scary people like are always afraid of. The most scariest name in the English language is Johnson. Let me tell you why. You can put Johnson on anybody's name and not know what you're about to get. For instance, you have, hello, I'm Meredith Johnson. Or you have, I'm Meredith Johnson. That last one, that Johnson, no sir. Let me go back to the comments though. Rob says he will travel for love. He will. Oh, it's like Katrina's job. I'm sorry, it is Katrina's job. Katrina, go ahead and read that.
Okay, Rob says he'll travel for love. Oh, Chuck says it's funny. Sales is tough right now, but if you're a freelancer, everyone wants to make a comic. Times are good to be a freelancer.
That is true.
Pop says ancient programming.
Ancient.
That must be going back to the British voice thing.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Josh says not a scariest name is Tamara or LaQuisha.
I dated them both.
With Johnson after it.
I dated them both. I dated them both, and I'll tell you this: it was very scary. Spice says, now I'm thinking of getting my own OnlyFans. Get yourself an OnlyFans. So I got a question for you guys from Indie Vote Radio, and this from the same person because he's listening in. Digital comics, is it the answer? My approach, my belief: digital comic sales are stagnated. Even though I'm currently adding to an app. But I think the digital comic sales are stagnated. I haven't seen any growth even with the shutdown. Mr. Molinari maybe has seen some growth. Have you seen any growth digitally?
I'm not really privy to the numbers with the companies to be able to answer that question fairly. But my understanding from previous conversations with some of the brass, like at Scout and Caliber, is that the sales for digital are just kind of they reach a certain percentage and kind of hold steady there. I think there's definitely a place for digital. I was, the hard and fast. I need to have a concrete, book in my hand kind of thing, and I God knows I've got plenty of books, but I think there's definitely a place for the digital stuff. really is. In fact, I was going to tell you one of my favorite digital platforms is a platform called Hoopla Digital. I don't know if you ever heard of it before.
No.
It's a library app. And if you haven't tried this before, you should check this out. hoopladigital.com. And the way you get access to it is if you have a library card, just your local library. On the back of your library card, you should have a code. And you go to that website, you put in your code and your email address. And if your local library has bought a subscription to Hoopla, which many of them have, you now have access to comics like crazy. I mean, if you don't mind, I can share my screen and actually give you a look at what it looks like.
Sure. You know, there was Chuck Winnick got some stuff pulled off of one of those sites that was for disabled people a while ago, and it's like, Chuck, come on, these are comics for disabled people. What are you doing, Chuck? And he's like, I'm not getting paid. I'm like, get your money, play it. Go ahead. I get it, Chuck. Just don't be mad when. This is a library app for anybody. Let me show this.
This is Hoopla itself. Just to give you a sense here, you can check out audiobooks, music, comics, ebooks, and television. And I want you to understand here, when the comics that are accessible through here, this is some serious stuff. And I'm just going to show you some of the publishers that are available. These are all publishers that are available through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
And that's not all of them. Let me bring up the rest of them. Caliber's there. Scout is just joined. I don't know if we have any up there yet. I know that was a thing that they're working on, loading them up. But you can see Alterna.
Aspen, Red 5. Yeah.
Red 5.
How much is the subscription service per month?
Free. It fits your budget quite well.
Free. $3.99.
So just to give you a look at this, this is not what you might think it is. This is a very serious thing here. This is Dark Horse is my favorite. Somebody else is hoping to have smut. Thank you, Chuck.
That's my feed, Chuck. That's my feed. That's why I'm very careful when I share something. I make sure that the
this is all frontline books.
Yeah.
All this is free. The only limitation is that you get 12 checkouts per month.
Okay.
That's not bad at all.
But it renews every month and it's free. Yeah. So like I said, I'll just show you just for fun. This is my favorite publisher, Europe Comics. And Europe Comics is basically, these are all books that are put out by European creators. And let me tell you something. Yeah. Artists in Europe are stupid good. Stupid.
Man, that William the Conqueror book looks vicious.
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't know if I have a checkout left. I may have one left this month. Let me see if I can. I'm going to borrow this one. This is all that it takes to borrow. You have it for my.
Oh, it's 15 titles.
It's 15 titles.
Yeah,
I thought it was 12. 15.
Okay. So I'm getting this set up right now. Doing that.
So I must have reached my limit, but what I'll do here is I'll at least show you. This is some of the stuff. Like this one right here is the one I'm reading. Once in Future. This is.
I heard about that one.
Yeah, this is pretty good. But
he died.
The books here that they have available are just truly amazing. I mean, it really is.
That looks good.
But, I mean, just the Shepherd's on there, of course, because Caliber's on there. But just truly a great app. And like I said, it is free. If you have a library card, you just check on the back of that library card for the code, program it into the website. And if it's been, if your local library has access to the account now, you've got it. And it's wonderful. I mean, I use those audio books too when you're traveling. And right, this year we're not doing as much traveling. But last year I had 26 cons that I went to. Yeah. And a lot of traveling. So having those audio books keeps you from, falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, I pop in a lot of audio books when I'm drawing. Or when I was traveling, right on my Amazon Fire tablet. Load one of those up and get to listening. Pop says free. Mine changed.
Yeah. Pops, check this out. Seriously, you will thank me. That is my gift to you today is Hoopla. That is awesome. Really.
Sarah was also disappointed there wasn't any smut on your timeline, Andrea. So yeah, she was very, very upset about that. Everyone was hoping that,
there you go. Well,
yeah. And let me see. Rob says he's at McDonald's right now, seeing growth of his waistline as he depressed eats and avoid the sweatbox known as home. Brandon Spy says, preach. Thanks for that site, man. That's an awesome resource. And Pops is creating his account right now. Very excited to see that. That's pretty cool. I like that.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And I think, as comic book creators, it's really important for us to read other people's stuff.
Absolutely.
To get a sense of what other people are doing. I believe in two things when it comes to to improve yourself as a writer. The first thing is you need to read great writers, as many of them as you can. And the second thing is you need to write. And those are the two biggest things that you need to do. And, reading others in the field, especially people that are very accomplished, very important. And, exploring some of those smaller presses, there's a lot of really good stuff coming out in the small presses.
It is. It is. I mean, I did not know about it. Now that I know, I'm going to check it out. I mean, I've got certain services. I got the DC Universe, which has a catalog of books, and I can look at that through my tablets or my phone or my TV, and that's cool. But being able to see something that's outside of the DC realm, some indie books, some stuff that and especially if I'm not sure about picking this book up, but now I can do it here and check it out digitally. That might change the game. I don't understand why digital comics sometimes cost the exact same amount. We are adding digital comics to the Last Call Comics app, which you can download on Google right now if you wanted to. But the store isn't set up for the digital comics yet, but they will be a lot cheaper than the physical version of the book because you're buying a physical version versus the digital version. I want I
had the same idea when I did mine for Elysian Fields, and like to go back on like the digital, whether that helps or not. I do think that there's definitely a place for it. For a lot of people in the indie field, I don't think that I know that there are a lot of creators that do get a lot of backers that get their digital tier because it's usually like the base tier, like the smallest tier that they can do because and because what Varian said I think rings very true. I don't feel that anyone that's purchasing a digital copy should be paying as much as somebody who's paying for a physical book. It's just it's not the same experience, and that's not to say that the people who pay digital aren't getting their money's worth, but it's still just a whole thing of you're getting a physical copy versus something that you download through a PDF and read on a PDF reader at home. And there's no bad part of that, but like for me, I was told that I should add a digital tier to my campaign, and we had a few people get it. It was mainly people that were international that didn't want to risk international shipping with everything going on. Yeah. But like between that or like people that were like, I don't really have the money to do one of these other tiers right now, but $5 is more than is something that I can part with. And that's all well and good, but I don't think that it's anything that is going to like push you over the edge. At the end of the day, people in this industry, the customer base of this industry wants the hard copy book in the very large majority. There are very few people that are going like for a series that they really want and are invested in. There are very few people that would rather just follow it digitally versus purchasing the hard copy and having it in their hands. Yeah,
that is true. You got a point.
I have a confession to make. I've thrown in a few dollars at Kickstarters to get the digital copies, and I haven't opened them because for my work, I'm in front of my screen all day long. The last thing I want to do to relax is open up another screen. I mean, I love I've got the hard copy. I love Yeah, I mean, I love flipping through the book. I love seeing the artwork. I love feeling the pages. I've always been that way, but I'm also, kind of a traditionalist. I do the same thing with books. I will not buy digital versions. I had a Nook. I got rid of it because I would rather get the hard copy and just flip through the books. It's just something for me that's more relaxing. It's a little bit easier on my eyes than being all day on my screen, like literally for fun too.
I want to give Varian a beige cowboy hat with Terraform on the front. I'd wear it. Pixel in the house. He says, I've been telling people to unlock digital once they are funded. Give your money to creator to create your book, then unlock digital in demand. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good idea.
I think that's a good.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm doing catch up. I'm sorry, I gotta stop that. Cat, that's your job, reading comments. What am I doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just taking over.
Did you get the Chuck comment there? Okay.
It's funny how for some people digital sales are lacking, and then others go onto webtoons as basically a license to print money.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think the secret for webtoon is that if you're on webtoon, you can have like your book already written out and have everything done, but then you release it like maybe a page or two at a time. And so now you've created a even more serialized format of a serialized series. And so you give them little tastes, and then people want more of that story. So they're willing to pay like the $5 or $6 to get the extra coins to unlock the next chapters early.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. I know when Eric was talking to a woman who was, I forget which division of almost said OmniTunes. You don't even know what that is. To Webtoons about, and she told him that they were really hoping to get some more content on there because they noticed there was a lot of manga content, and they wanted to really get some more westernized art on there.
Yeah,
and you can get paid on there. You can get some good money. So I hope that people start when they're releasing digital comics. I got a digital only comic up there on Webtoon. I only got one chapter of it up there because I got lazy. I should have done like 3 chapters and then released them like weekly or monthly, but I didn't do that. I got lazy.
I think we should take a couple minutes to talk to everybody about their projects.
Yeah, we can. We're gonna do that. I do want to bring up one comment though. So from Niobe Comics, go ahead and read that, Kat.
Says, I think digital is a thing. For me, we sold 56 digital copies on the last Kickstarter.
Again, digital is some people do really good with digital. Me, on the other hand, I'm terribly afraid someone's going to take it and go print it. I mean, I think I told everybody about the guy who, instead of funding his, he got funded on campaign, and everybody got an email from him with a PDF, and the PDF was a little certificate in the back of the PDF. He says, print this out, take it to your local printer. You can print 1 copy of the book. I've run out of money. I cannot print the book. So everybody's getting the PDF. Everybody. And even if you paid for the physical version, you're getting, here's the PDF, here's a certificate allowing you to go take it to that store, to any printer you want, and print out one, that's Uno, right? 1 physical copy of that book. And people were pissed. People were upset. Now, if you ordered, from what I understand too, if you ordered like the 5 or 6 retailer copy, your certificate allowed you to print up to 5, which meant that you had to now print 5. You can't print 5 copies.
You were paying for that out of your own pocket, so you were throwing even more money. I'm not going to go into that. This was my first. That was my first episode on Geekgasm, where freaking Varian threw that out there, and I blew up.
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain my face got like vermilion at one point. I was really mad. I was like, "Who the fuck?" Oh man.
All right, yeah. Chuck wants to know, I wonder how much of that, Larry, is because you're in Canada and people don't want to pay for shipping. I know for people overseas, I tend to go digital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who Larry is. Is that Niobe Comics?
Yeah, Niobe Comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it also depends, because I know that Kickstarter has the international shipping option, like where you can put 1 for international and 1 for domestic. But I'm on Indiegogo. You like they give you what's the cost of shipping, and you get one price. So you kind of got to, make that. That's another reason why I had a whole bunch of people ask me like, "Oh, why are you charging $10 for shipping for these books?" And I'm like, "Well, I got to get the supplies to do it, and then on top of that, I also have to factor in that if I have somebody that's buying this book from, say, Australia, their shipping price is going to be significantly more expensive than like the money that I'm going to have to put towards your shipping domestic." But I do think that the international, that's where I see most of my backers. I think I had maybe 30 people get Elysian Fields on my Indiegogo, and I would say probably around 3/4 of them were in different countries.
Niobe says that I would certainly say that is part of it for sure. So the international thing definitely plays into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next one.
Indie. Oh my gosh, there's more. Pixel Trader says Indiegogo lets you select multiple locations.
Yes, but they don't let you you get one price for shipping. That's it.
You ever read that comment, Katrina?
Yeah, Chuck wants me to learn people's names.
So, Lola wanted to say something.
You said that everyone needs to go around and talk about what they're doing. You want to start with Mr. Molinari?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we will start with Andrea. Let's talk about what you got going on, sir.
All right. Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, I mean, there's a lot of different projects that I work with. I mean, Scout, just for example, I have a team. It's called Beta Team. There's 5 different teams that are divided up under editors and production managers. And I have, about 19 titles under me at Scout, just at Scout. So what I'd like to do is I'll share. I'm just going to pick out one. I think this one's particularly relevant for a couple of reasons. Wait till it gets brought up here. Can you see it? All right. So this is Kevin Joseph's work, Tart. This is the trade. There's, I think, 6 or 7 issues. I think it's 7 issues in this. And this is going to be due out in the stores on July 8th. I'm just really, really proud of it. I've come in as an editor for Scout. I was not an editor, part of the original editorial team. That was Cassandra Bell, who did the original editing when it came out as an independent book. But we are very excited. A lot of work went into this.
Looks pretty.
Wait till you see the art, just to see some of the artwork in here. It's amazing. The guy who does the art, the primary artist, his name is Ludovic Saleh. He's a Frenchman, and just tremendous talent. But basically, this book, it's got supernatural themes, and it imagines a world where the evil forces of hell are trying to interfere with the progression of human history. And to fight them is an organization. They're called the Toxic Fruits, and basically, what they're an organization that's made up of women, basically, that they have died a death that is premature. They shouldn't have gone at that time, and they're basically recruited and then become like keepers of the time stream. For lack of a better word. But this is the main character. She's Tart, and that has to do with what happened to her, the mode of her death. And I don't know if you can see this here. Let's see if I can blow it up here for you. If you look at her back, it says Tart, whore, slut. She was violated and killed. And so she kind of takes that thing that was done to her in her death and kind of weaponizes it for good. And you can see here how she dies. She's strangled by the man who killed her. But she's a really interesting character, and Kevin does just a wonderful job writing this book. And like I said, the art is just, I don't know, it has a feel like, for me, when I look at this, like this particular art here, it kind of reminds me of some of the artwork that you would have seen in World War II on the fighter planes or the bombers.
Like the pinup art and everything.
Yeah, pinup art.
I was about to say that too, especially with how they have like that fading texture in the background.
Yeah,
where, like, you've got that very like tan. It gives this very homely like 40s 50s vibe to it, and it really adds to the atmosphere of the book. This looks really great.
It is
definitely very retro feel.
Yeah, and this is the look, based on the time that this particular. Remember, they're going through the time stream, so the way that they look, the garb that they wear, and in this case, she's actually in hell as a portion of hell, where she's basically taking the fight, right to the source, so to speak. But so what she wears is very much based on when she is. The time, like I said, the time stream is extremely important. But I don't want to give away the farm or anything, but I totally recommend this book. It's a great read. It is an ongoing title. We are already working on the next series of issues. And my understanding is the next volume will be a shorter volume in terms of number of issues. But I'm really, very proud to work on this title. And, just tremendous creators, tremendous talent. And you can just see it. And even like, the lettering's done by DC Hopkins. And DC Hopkins does stuff for Marvel, DC, Dynamite. It's a ridiculous list of companies that he letters for. I'm proud to say he's my letterer with the Shepherd as well. But anyway, I do have Loggerhead. Yes, I do have Loggerhead. Much to poor Brian's chagrin. I ride him up, down, and sideways as an editor, but we will turn him into a weapon before it's all over. So, but anyway, that's an example of one of the projects that I've worked on, and I'm continuing to work on for Scout. And what I'm going to show you now is one that is a lot of fun. I'm real proud of this one. This is a project that I'm doing with Amigo Comics. Amigo Comics is based out of Spain, and they're now actually a sub-imprint of Behemoth Comics, which is a Texas-based company. Let me introduce you to Ezekiel Himes, Zombie Hunter. This is written by a man by the name of Victor Santos. I don't know if that name rings a bell for you, but he writes a book called Polar that's published by Dark Horse. And if you look on your Netflix, if you're a subscriber, you'll find that there's a Polar Netflix show based on the graphic novel. This is another one of his titles, and I'm proud to be able to work on Victor's book. And just to I'm going to give you a taste of this one too. I apologize up front because you're going to see some editorial stuff. This is actually a file that I have that actually has some of my notes that I've sent to the creative team. But you can see it's a very stylized form of art. And this one is only a two-parter, which kind of broke my heart because I really got into the story. The first issue is going to be available. I actually have it, and I'll show it to you momentarily. This issue printed out is what I'm saying will be available in the stores in July. And then I assume that the second part of the story would be follow up in August. I'm certain because I've already edited it, so it's good to go. But definitely it has this kind of like, I want to say like tones like tintype, from the Old West, the old photography.
And I like the choice of not adding a lot of color in there. Yeah. It's funny because I think the best books, sometimes you don't even notice they're black and white or toned. You don't even notice. It just fits the story so well. It just works.
And this one is an interesting book because it focuses on zombies they're sentient zombies. And so I would say this book actually has less in common with The Walking Dead and more in common with Caliber Comics' Dead World, because I don't know if you're a zombie aficionado, you would know that Dead World actually came out back in 1988, started in 1988.
Mm-hmm.
And that book is notoriously, zombie books don't tell you how it started, but the Dead World series basically explains it as, there was a demonic ritual that kind of brought demons into this world, and the demons are able to inhabit some of the bodies of the zombies. And so the ones that they inhabit are sentient, thinking, very dangerous, and they can jump from body to body to body. So as their body starts to wear out, they can kill and jump into another body.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has similar kind of concept where it's almost like a hive mind, where the primary zombie is using other zombies as kind of like puppets, for lack of a better word. And so you can kill them, but it doesn't really solve the problem.
So kind of like the bugs in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
They've got like the big bug that controls everything. That's really awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a taste of Ezekiel Himes, Bounty Hunter. Very cool. 2-parter, like I said, comes out in July. Definitely enjoyed working on that one. Very honored to have the opportunity to work on that. And then this is one that is kind of a different one that I wanted to show you, but I think it's worth it showing. This is coming out from Caliber Comics, and this will be out in the fall. The Lincoln Brigade, and the Lincoln Brigade is a historical war book. And how's this for unique people? This book takes place during the Spanish Civil War of 36, particularly in the years between 36 and 38, 1936 to 1938. I'm sorry, repeat that?
The rise of Franco.
Yeah, they're actually fighting the Francoist forces. Now, the Franco, for those of you who don't know, Generalissimo Francisco Franco was the head of the fascist forces. He eventually defeated these guys, who were the Republican forces, and they were made up of the loyalists to the crown, as well as the communist and more socialist-oriented people in Spain. The Lincoln Brigade is actually made up of roughly 3,000 American volunteers who came over and fought in the Civil War on the Republican side. Of those 3,000 or so volunteers, 85 of them were African Americans. And the gentleman in the middle here is actually a historical figure by the name of Oliver Law. And Oliver Law actually came to the command. He rose to the command of the Lincoln Brigade. Now, just to help you understand this is like 10 years previous to the time that the American forces integrated their army, our army.
Well, 20 to 30 years, actually, because the first integrated units were in, I think, in Vietnam.
48. It would have been actually in 48 under Truman. That's when it was. Yeah, 1948. Now, I don't even know. I'd have to go look and see when the first units that were integrated were under African American commanders. So what I want you to understand is just the radical nature of having an African American commanding an integrated unit. And this Oliver Law is the focus of this book, The Lincoln Brigade. And it's just really a hell of a book. I mean, it really is. And I'm just going to show you here some of the interiors, because the interiors are really unique. I'm going to jump ahead because just some of the ones that I really want to show you here. These are some of the battle scenes here.
Oh, look at that, man.
Oh, yeah. The artist has really worked hard to get the weapons right. And I'm going to cycle through this so you can see just the variety.
Headshot. Sorry, I play a lot of Call of Duty. I got to headshots whenever they come out. Headshot.
They even got the trench knives and everything. That's sick.
And look, here's where the tanks, and we'll show you some of the aircraft too. But just, this is what's amazing for me, or what's special for me, is that, you'd never see this in mainstream big comic book companies. They're not going to do this kind of thing. The small presses like Caliber, like Scout, like Amigo, and many others, these are the presses that will take the chances and publish something like this.
Yeah.
But this is a part of history, a very interesting part of history, and I think a relevant part of history, especially with all the racial tension and stuff that we have going on now, to see how these units were able to work together effectively in that time period that was long before the civil rights movement here in the United States.
Yeah, that looks good.
This looks awesome. When did you say coming out?
This will be out in the fall. I don't have an exact date, but say in the November ballpark.
Okay.
I'm going to jump ahead because there's a scene in here where they show. There we go. I want you to see this guy's art of the.
Rad.
Blow this up for you because these are stupid good. I mean, just to give you a look at that. I mean, it's just really lovingly done. They've really taken the time to get it right historically. And this is such a good fit for Caliber because Caliber does a lot of war comics, like historical war comics. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about Sergeant Rock. I'm talking about historically accurate comics. Caliber publishes a number of titles by Wayne Van Zandt. If you like military history, I do. He's as good as it gets. Yeah. And the guy's out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's in his 70s now, and it's just, I think he's done I know for a fact he's done over 20 graphic novels and done some amazing stuff. But this just gives you a taste of some of the stuff I'm working on. One, like I said, one from each of the companies. I hope I haven't overdone it. But.
Let me see here. Here is I want to show you this too. This was I know what I can do. It'll be a lot easier. 1 second. As you guys know, I've got a ton of screens. You guys have already seen them around me. A ton of screens. Let me share this real quick.
You have a really cool mouse.
Yeah, I got an ergonomic mouse. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's a precious mouse. But I was sending this, and you guys can see it. So there it is. It allows you to be able to see. I don't know if you guys can see that, but hold on. I'll try to make it a little bit easier for everyone to see. It's I guess you can't. It's shipping on Indiegogo.
Yeah,
and it allows you to select your shipping location of United States, shipping fees $5. Rest of the world you can add in Puerto Rico. You can add.
I didn't see that when I was first doing it, but either way.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is it is up there. So now we now know it's an option, and we can do it, which is to save a lot of people. A lot of problems.
Because I did not see that initially. I know that it allowed you to pick whether or not you're shipping only domestic or international.
Yeah.
But like that was the only thing I saw.
Yeah, I think that I was trying to make it bigger because it was so small on screen, but I hate that I can't make it bigger. But that's what he said, right? There it is. Yeah. Again, though, there it is. So yeah, you can see there. You could have $5 for the United States, $15 for the rest of the world. And you can set locations in there too, so that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that just seems so cost prohibitive for anybody who. I mean, you're paying more for shipping often than the book.
Yeah.
That happens a lot, though. That happens a lot.
But is it worth putting the offer out there?
Not really. I mailed 3 books to Italy. They were author copies, so I didn't have any choice. The books themselves were worth $45. It cost me $39 to mail the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, and what are the options to maybe try and get your book published overseas? That way it saves.
You can find a printer. I mean, Eric Hodson was able to find a printer to print a couple prints and have it given to them. I think it was in Australia. Someone ordered from Australia, and he was like, the shipping cost is going to be way too high. So he found a printer there, was able to give him the specs, and it was cheaper for him to have it printed there and actually sent from the printer to the end buyer than it would have been to pay for the shipping. So that, I mean, there are those options.
Business, though, to find those networks in the countries that are buying your books. I mean, at some point you should be familiar enough with your demographic and who's buying your stuff, to try and target and maybe find a small printer or something.
Yeah. It's definitely worth it if you can find a small printer. Find a small printer rather than a publisher. Because the publisher might be like, "Yeah, we're publishing this now," and you're not.
And then trust with your property. There is that.
Pixel said that's some good looking stuff from you. And
Pops is saying if the book is good enough, people will buy them.
Yeah. Mike, you've got some new stuff coming up.
I do. So obviously we have the campaign that's been going on here for a bit, and so in regards to that, I do actually have something to share with you guys. I got a very exciting picture from my printer here just yesterday. Where are you at? Hold on 1 second. Make sure that none of these are them.
I'm gonna let Kat read a comment real quick while you're
Woo! Yeah. All right. Pixel says Jason Brubaker is apparently printing and shipping from overseas. I'm going to see if I can get more information. Shipping from China direct from the printers might be worthwhile to explore.
All right. I've got it ready.
Oh, there's one more, and then
although having signed copies for backers negates that as an option.
Yeah. Unless you get them shipped to you and then you got to ship them back out. So you have to explain to your backers that if it's signed, it's going to be like a week or two delay. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you can go ahead and share that, Michael.
All right. So let's see. We've got this, and then here we go.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And then the last thing I have to show with you guys. So I draw as a little bit of a hobby. I'm nowhere near the professional level, but I ended up playing around with our artist Marcelo's designs for our characters for Elysian Fields, and it turned out pretty all right. And so I'm actually having him ink it and color it, and we might be using this as a creator cover for the next book. But so yeah, here we go.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So
looks good. You so he's gonna ink that and then.
Yeah, he's going to ink it and clean it up a bit, and then color it, and then if I like what I see, we'll probably use that as a creator cover as an additional team. But I had a blast drawing this. I had a really fun time drawing Heracles. Yeah.
Pixel says, "Cat, go ahead and read that." Pixel's comment.
Pixel says, "Cat, go ahead and read that."
Yeah.
Wow, thanks for sticking up for me, Pixel. Pixel says he loves seeing books in production.
Yeah, it was very exciting. I got it while I was doing some grocery shopping. I was in a Giant, and I got the message and screamed "fuck yeah" in the middle of an aisle, and everyone looked at me like I was a complete madman. I was just like, I'm sorry.
So somebody was probably like, "That guy's really happy they brought back toaster strudel."
I was gonna say, he's just excited that there's finally toilet paper in stock.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Lysol spray.
The real joke is that I was in the contraceptive aisle. So what?
Meredith, what are you working on, ma'am?
What am I working on? Let me see if I can pull up a screen here. Let me see. Tab. You guys are getting a sneak peek into this because I am getting ready to release this tonight. And that is the Austin Janowski. I have a screen share there. Yep. Hold on a second. So this is the press release that we're getting ready to actually release. So you're getting a sneak peek right now. It's Austin Janowski, and he's bringing Dawn and the Dead to Terraform Comics. So we're really excited about that. Awesome. He is an actor, and he's done a lot of art. Really cool stuff. We're going to have a little bit of his bio in here. And he's also got a Kickstarter going on, and I think it ends on June 30th. So he's got a few more days to fund this, but it's a relaunch because what they did was when the pandemic hit and they were originally getting ready to launch that, they said, maybe we need to put it on hold. So this is their relaunch, and he's funded, but he is really close to the next stretch goal. So I'm really hoping that we throw some support at him. The other thing that I'm working on is the social media. So, you guys know that I'm with Terraform Comics, and we're trying to build up our social network. Let me see if I can stop the screen here. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't really have to share the screens with you guys. Just go to Terraform Comics. You can find that on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all under the same Terraform Comics. And, subscribe, like it, follow us everywhere, share it with your friends and stuff, because we've got a lot of stuff going on. Go to terraformcomics.com and sign up for the mailing list, because we're only a week old and we've got a lot of exciting things like Austin Janowski, things like Luke Stone's, hybrids, the Sons of Gods. We've got Cat Dad and Supermom coming over. Scarlet Trace is another thing that is that's in the pipeline. I've actually got a comic that I'm working on. I'm on the second draft of the script, and I'm doing that to try and save on my editing costs, because I figure if I do the work, I'm learning at the same time. That's where the noob comes in. And actually, I gave myself 1 year to create a comic book, and that's like really bumped up a lot. So I'm kind of under a tight deadline as far as getting my book in one of the first 3x3s that we're offering.
Meredith, you silly goose. If you want to save money on editing, you simply have to try this new method I found out about. You want to know what it is?
What's that?
It's called the Gibsonian method. The Gibsonian method. What you do? The Gibsonian method. What you do is you hire an editor. You give them just a couple of dollars. And you get the project done. You get them to edit 5 fucking issues. And then you say you ain't got any more money. And you go dance and say, hey, I'll thank you in the comic. And then when the comic comes out, you don't thank them. You don't. You forget they even exist. And then you send them a message on them, you can't be friends anymore.
Katrina, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Shitty. Man, what a piece of garbage. I'll refrain.
That's what you do. That's how you do it. Don't pay for an editor. It might not work on Andre. It might not work on him. He might not actually give up the goods until he gets his cash. But
wow.
Yeah, that's what
I don't think that would work on Chuck Pinot either.
You said it happened to you, Andrew?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen where, yeah.
Wow.
I get the work right away. I don't because look, here's the thing: you either work with integrity or you don't. And my feeling is I'm going to do the right thing, and what you do is going to be you're going to have to live with it. You're going to have you see in the mirror.
The thing is, when the person did it to Katrina, that was like, for me, that was like the last straw. I'm like, all right, look, you can mess with me, you can mess with other people, but like messing with Katrina, she doesn't do anything to anybody. Katrina's always sitting at the table. She'll come sit at your table, watch a table for hours on end. Okay, help sell your stuff. She's a good person. So for her to get screwed over like that was really upsetting to me. So that's why I keep needling the person who did it. Nobody on this panel. I keep needling the person who did it, but he's already blocked me on social media, so it's fine.
What's even worse was that he ditched her to promote his own damn book. He was butthurt, and then while he was throwing his little temper tantrum, he went around and started talking trash.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate thing, but you know what? It's like I make a joke about it, Meredith, but there are so many editors out there who are getting screwed. But Katrina is like letting people get in at like this entry level almost prices. Because I mean, if I threw somebody $10, they're gonna be like, nah, here's what I got so far. Just start work on the books. you know, and then just sit there. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you any more. And then you have the decency to put the credit you in the book. That's a big no-no. Big no-no. Pops says he'll call him out. Yeah, because he was disrespectful to Pops later on too. It's just
He got at Pops?
Oh yeah. You have to ask Pops about that. It was
I will. I'll hit him up.
yeah.
I'm gonna say, you know, at the end of the day, all you have is your integrity, really. I mean, if you don't have that, then you're screwed. I mean, why would you do that to yourself? That's just horseshit.
You get away with it, be able to get, you know, because hey, listen, I can get away with it because no one calls me out on it. I can keep getting away with it, and that's what we have to do in this industry. You know, they put a pledge out yesterday. I don't have to take a pledge because I've always been that person. Hey, I don't like what you're doing. I'm gonna pull you to the side. I've never had to take a pledge or remind myself to treat everybody in this industry as fairly as possible. Sometimes we can't agree on a way we should do business, and that's fine. No one's gonna do business 100%. All the time, the way the other person wants. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to maybe compromise, or we can dissolve the business relationship at that point. But when you don't pay somebody, that kind of sucks. If you can't pay them, explain to them why you can't pay them, and at least credit them in the books. My first company, I screwed up big time. I had artists drawing, and while I had all the finances at the time to pay them, I screwed up, could not. All those gentlemen know that when I put the books out to try to make money, their names are in the books. Their names are in the books, and I told them before, if you ever want any copies, call me and let me know. Yeah. This is
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, he says they think Katrina's innocent. Katrina's normally very innocent. Kat, are you working on anything?
I have a Kickstarter that launched today.
What's it called?
It is the last chapter of A Teddy Bear Tale, The Awakening Saga.
Now, let me see here. I'm going to try to bring it up because Katrina's not going to share. She's going to me work. Hold on. Where is it? She's going to make me work. Like, no, I'm not going to bring it up. Everybody else brought their own stuff up. Katrina's like, nah, I don't think I'll do it. Is it Twilight? There it is.
Yep, it's Twilight.
All right, I'm going to pop this up. Teddy Bear Tales. I'm sorry, Indie Vote fans. It is a Kickstarter campaign.
It is.
There it is, a Teddy Bear Tale Twilight. A ragtag band of cuddly toys venture into the realm of the underbed to rescue their child's soul from the clutches of the boogeyman. That got dark. That got really dark really damn quick. Katrina, now I got my kid Teddy Bear Tales. Was that the second issue?
Issues 3 and 4, I believe.
Right,
yeah,
right. And
3
he was
and
a little
4.
confused. He said, "Well, I don't understand." And I said, "Well, son, you're coming in the middle of the book. I'll try to get you the other ones." Yeah. But yeah. So here we go. And now, Katrina, you're usually the editor on these books, correct?
I am the editor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do get paid for these.
Yeah. Very upset that my kid's picture wasn't used. You have to contact Nick. Tell him I said, "What the hell?"
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't appreciate. Listen. I don't know if Nick knows this, but it's all the rage right now to use biracial children in your advertisement.
Yeah. I'll make sure he's aware.
Yeah, and I gotta say, mine is adorable. I don't know about the rest. I mean, I wish people would stop. Like, interracial kids have a tendency to keep making the same kid over and over and over again, but they do. They all look alike. Like, I'm afraid I'm gonna take somebody else's kid home. I'm not sure that one out there is actually the one is not like, because if they cross past at Walmart, I just grab the one that I think I bought this shirt. Yeah, come on with me. So I think that's mine in there.
Ours is so cute that he thinks that. Well, some people say he's a girl.
Yeah, people do think he's a girl. Like, he's such a cute little girl, and I'm like, and I'm afraid to correct them nowadays because you correct them now, it's like, what did you say? Well, I identify him as a boy.
He was a boy wrong. When we came in the store.
Yeah, they told me. They told me at the store he has all the accoutrements to be a boy. So I guess like I don't want to stick him with something, but right now he likes boy things. So or he likes to wrestle. I haven't read the first one yet, but this to me is begging for a cartoon. I don't know what gives. What you and Nick slacking, but apparently is that a mouse?
That is a mouse lion.
A mouse lion. Is that not okay? Now,
It's cute.
okay, because I'm making sure because I was like, oh, a mouse is entered now. So now we know not only does the house have a boogeyman problem, they've got a rodent infestation.
They have a rodent problem.
Yeah, now we know that.
They meet up with Fernando in the underbed.
Fernando.
Yes, that is Fernando. This is actually episodes 5 and 6. So this will be the end of the series.
Okay.
But we're also offering it as a hardcover trade, issues 1 through 6.
Oh, really? So now you do issues 1 through 6.
We have both projects on this Kickstarter.
So he can get the beginning of it and the end in one book.
In the end. And have the middle in the middle.
I see. Very nice. That's probably the one I'll get him then because he wants to know what the hell happened. He came into issues, 4 and 5?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. So that was Dirty Pool. I didn't see an ability to get 1 and 2. So Dirty Pool. Yeah, he did write a good review. I just sent that to you.
He did. You sent it to me and I sent it on to Nick.
Did you? Okay,
Nick was a little sad that Veronica got more talk time in the review than he did, but Veronica Smith is the artist on this series, and she's phenomenal.
Well, we should actually see this get the old Indie Vote bump right now. Listening to us live on Indie Vote Radio, 26,804 people. Want to thank the UK. I want to thank Japan, China, and Mexico. Thank you guys. You are awesome. We really appreciate it. Pop on over to YouTube also. Follow us on YouTube. Not everything that we do on Indie Vote is YouTube or is on the radio. So if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing and see some of those other exclusive things that we put on the YouTube channel and on Indie Vote TV, best place to do that is the YouTube. Like, subscribe while you're over there. You got the teddy bears are back again.
The teddy bears are back. Those are all handmade, custom toys.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, they are. I own most of them, and I can say they are definitely super high quality.
Very nice. Yeah, these kids are weird. I don't like it. I want you to. I'm just kidding. No,
need to swap out some kids.
Yeah, I want my kids in there. Katrina, it's been a joy having you on. You'll be back next week as well, helping the co-host while Stephanie's coming back. But we're gonna have more co-hosts we can shake a stick at. Meredith says, that's Meredith's comments, and then it says we have new comments, but I can't see what they are. So, oh yes, I do. Yes, I do now. Spy says, go ahead, Katrina.
I was scared of the boogeyman. I was a kid. I feel the story.
For real. Accoutrements, yeah. Accoutrements, like
accessories
that will make you of the male whatever it is now
persuasion.
I don't want to even say it because they're like, you can't say that now. Like what look, I'm not messing with people, man. If he wants to come, he used to tell me when he was a little boy he wanted to be Catwoman when he grew up. I'm like,
now he wants to be a Lego master with me.
Yeah, now he wants to be a Lego master. The still doesn't tell me what who he wants to date, but that doesn't matter. He could date a frog.
His little crush.
Yeah, he has a little.
Since first grade.
Yeah, he's got a little crush, but.
And he blushes every time you mention her name.
I don't like her. I don't like her too much. I think she's trouble.
In the store a couple days ago, and she's like, "Oh, tell Kaden I said hi."
See, who does that? Tell Kaden I say hi. I'm gonna be in your house one day, living there. That's what she's telling me. That's what she's telling me. I'm gonna live in your house one day.
When Roger was elementary age, I'd have girls that from his class and stuff come up to me in the store.
See, guys, thank you for being on. Let everybody know where they can find you. Start with Kat. We'll go to Mr. Mike, and we'll go around that way. Go ahead. Where can they find you, Kat?
You can find me on Facebook as Katrina Roets, Roets, on Instagram as Life with Katie, or at catscratchpress.com.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Michael Oden, writer, creator of Elysian Fields. We've got the Indiegogo running, so just look up Elysian Fields on there. It's my birthday this Friday, so if we can hit 10K, that'd be awesome. That would be a cool milestone to hit, and I'll figure out something fun to do for that. And then you can find me on Twitter at ElysianFields_0. Facebook, you can find me by my name, Michael Oden, or you can follow our Facebook page for Nine Realms Publishing. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to be on, and hopefully we have some more exciting stuff to announce for you here very soon.
You can find me on Instagram, The Shepherd Comic. Our website is www.theshepherdcomic.com. Probably the two best places to find us.
All right. I'm Meredith Loughran. It was really a pleasure to be on Geekgasm. This is my first time here. You can find me at Terraform Comics. If you look at the Our Team page, I will be there with my Facebook and my Twitter account, as the rest of the team is there as well. And, thank you for having me here.
No problem. No problem. And of course, I'm Varian Grant.
I'm the best ever. And, I control the board. I do all that stuff. Varian Grant on Facebook, KYD_V on Twitter. That's kid_V on Twitter. IndieVolt.com, the website, the IndieVolt TV page. Huh?
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. Everywhere you want to be, like MasterCard, except for your county jail, God willing. And of course, Lola, you can say goodbye now. I'm turning your mic on.
Thank you. And yes, I am Lola, your Indie Princess. And you can find me on Facebook at The Indie Princess. I finally have an Instagram. It's The Real Indie Princess.
The real?
The Real Indie Princess, yes.
That's a shot.
And I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight, and also thank all of our listeners tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you back next week here, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Me and Randy will be back on it tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the Breakfast Buzz, at 9 a.m. on this very channel. We'll be talking about what has happened in the comic industry, all the sick and debaucherous things, touching things they ain't got business touching. It's just horrible. It's all over the place. It's nasty. All right. Thank you guys for being here with us. We will see you all very shortly. Stay safe. Keep making comics. Okay.